Reviewing the Surface Pro 4 is so much easier than previous generations. I don't have to spend half the video explaining what it is. Is it a tablet that can replace your desktop? Is it a desktop that can go with you? Is it a foldable, dockable, transformer, tablet top type device? You already know what the Surface Pro is. It's in its fourth iteration. It's gotten thinner, it's gotten lighter, it's gotten faster, and it's brought a few high-tech friends with it that make it a complete laptop or tablet experience. But most importantly, is it a device that you want to buy? I'm going to do my best NFL coach impersonation and show you everything there is to know about the Surface Pro 4. I'm John Ranger from Techno Buffalo, and if you haven't guessed it yet, this is our review of the Surface Pro 4. As I do with all my reviews, let me start with a disclaimer. I use this as my daily computer at home for 13 days. I want to make sure I really knew everything about it, how it performed, and especially how it performed versus the previous generation Surface Pro 3. So let's start with the design. It's a very familiar design, but Microsoft has improved what already was a pretty impressive look and feel. It weighs very little at 1.73 pounds or 786 grams. By comparison, the iPad Pro weighs 1.57 pounds or 713 grams. So for not much extra weight, you're getting a full-fledged computer. And that's really what the Surface is all about. It's no compromises. You have a tablet when you want it and a full computer when you want it. Using Windows 8 was a little bit simpler, I think. As a tablet, you had that large start menu. It's changed a little bit with Windows 10, but it's much easier for actual everyday usage as opposed to just normal media consumption. So if you don't want to do anything that's not watching Netflix or Hulu, you're really going to appreciate, I think, what the Surface Pro can do. Other than that, it's thinner and lighter than previous generation, but it's going to look very familiar. Still a big fan of the kickstand. You now have infinite angles. Hello. So you can keep it on your lap really any way you want, and you'll find a position that's comfortable. It goes relatively flat too, so if you want to take advantage of the Surface Pen and do some OneNote action, you can. I'm not a graphic designer. I can barely draw a stick figure. I've never been that into the OneNote ecosystem, but if you are, you're going to appreciate the redesigned Surface Pen as well. One simple click is going to go ahead and launch OneNote, and if you're a student, for example, go ahead and scribble notes and it'll work really well. One thing I appreciated was handwriting recognition. It was very easily able to translate my chicken scratch into actual writing and save it on the device. If that's important to you, it'll work well. And also, you now can attach via magnets on the side of the tablet. All right, so what about performance on this? Something this size, it's kind of tough to think what it's good for and what it's not good for. But I've boiled it down for you and who this would be right for. If you're the kind of person that's doing a lot of 3D rendering, or you do a lot of video editing or heavy gaming, this is not going to be the device for you. If you're the type of person that does a lot of word processing, maybe you'll play some light games, you watch a lot of YouTube videos, maybe do some spreadsheet work, but you're not doing anything heavy 3D. So it's going to be a really capable computer. And it's not to say that it can't do some light gaming. It's very easily able to get some StarCraft going. You could download Steam, play some Arkham Knight if you wanted to. On average settings, you can do it, but it's not really what it's meant for. And even when I was playing games and I was kicking up the processor, I really didn't have any heat issues either. There's vents all the way along the sides of this, which dissipates heat. And also, I very rarely ever heard any sort of fan noise. This thing ran extremely cool, which is not the case with the Surface Pro 3. One big difference versus Surface Pro 3 is in the screen. Microsoft's calling their new technology PixelSense, which is just Microsoft lingo for the screen looks awesome, and it does. It's a resolution of 2736 by 1824, and it's got a 287 ppi, and it looks incredible. I never thought the Surface Pro 3 screen looked bad. Looking at it next to this, it looks incredible. Picture it like shopping for a TV, and you got two TVs up on the wall in the store. One is showing like a good 1080 picture, and one's showing like a ridiculously awesome 4K picture. That's what this looks like. It looks like the 4K screen. It is absolutely incredible, and the difference is astounding. Colors are rich, blacks are really black. Even better for visibility and direct sunlight as well. If you're a student or you like to work outside, I think you're going to appreciate that. I also like the 3.2 aspect ratio on the Surface Pro 4 as well. Something that's thin and light. I was obviously concerned about battery life. How is it going to be? I got a little less battery life than advertised. I got about 5 to 6 hours of battery life out of here as opposed to the 8 or 9 you should get with video usage, but again, that's going to vary on your usage. What you set the screen brightness at, whether you have things running in the background or not, so bear that in mind. Let's say you've got a Surface Pro 3 or older. You might be like a burst signer here and think your type cover is so awesome, but you have not yet experienced the type cover 4. It's thinner, it's got a new typing mechanism, and the trackpad actually feels good.